All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to Living Podcariously again. So we have a little bit of an interesting scenario going on. We have rebooted or relaunched or new seasoned. I don't know, Josh, Andrea, what do you guys want to say?
We got a whole bunch of shit happened in real life again, and it took away from the show. And now, I mean, you'll hear more about it, but you guys are in the new house. We have a whole new studio. It's just been the past 6 months I've got a new job. I'm working in another city. It's just been...
Yeah, life happens, man. And if you listen to podcasts, at least ones that are not really like sponsored and paid for, and it's not everybody's single source of income, then you know this kind of stuff happens. So...
But thanks for coming back.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, thank you very much.
My boobs are still the same size as the last time we recorded.
That's true. That's true. Wait, where's Tack? I don't believe you. But for more on Tack, stay tuned when we're going to air 3 or 4, maybe 5 episodes that are unpublished. Tack will be in those just like normal. But you'll have to listen to our newest released episode here in late July of 2019 to find out exactly what happened to Tack. He's not dead or anything. Don't think that.
He's fine. Was it like 105?
I think it might be.
Sound right? 104 maybe?
I think the new one we're going to be recording is 105 for the new studio.
We got to see what we've got.
All right. Up. But yeah, guys, thank you for listening. Enjoy this show. This show is just going to be like a regular, good old everyday episode of Living Podcariously with some special game times and recorded from the Why Are We Here studios. But starting around 105, we are in a new studio that's unnamed currently other than by Abigail. She kind of named it something.
It's the Nanana Studios.
It is. It's the Nanana Studios. You'll hear about that on the newest episode too. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in and enjoy this show.
Living Podcariously, recorded live from the Why Are We Here studios.
And welcome to another episode of Living Podcariously.
Yay.
What up? Oh, yeah. All right, that's all I got. You guys have a good night.
You already did that before.
Oh, damn. All right, let's introduce our hosts around the room. Sitting across from me is not Tack.
No
Tack.
It's an empty seat.
Yeah, Tack is...
Grocery shopping.
Is it grocery shopping?
Grocery shopping.
Is that what he calls it?
Yes.
All right, we'll go with that.
And to surprise, my sister's here tonight, too.
Of all nights, your sister shows up and poor Tack's not here to hang out with her.
Hi, I'm Erica. I'm Andrea's sister.
You guys sound so much alike.
We do, don't we? Everyone says that.
And you look alike, too. There's, the obvious family heritage there. You know you two are sisters.
Yes.
So, Erica, we heard, Tack is single and he's interested. This was his one shot, I guess, huh?
That's it. It's over.
Good prov, bro. All right. All right, so sitting across from me is the love of my life, Mr. Joshua. No, I'm just kidding.
What's up, everybody?
Now, officially, I can introduce her around as we go as Mrs. Andrea Poston, my wife, Andrea Joy.
Hi.
We are joyful.
I don't have any quibs for you guys tonight. I kind of slacked off on the writing, so my bad.
That's what happens with the job.
Yeah, right? This kind of sucks. Hit the lottery or something. Let's get over that part.
And across from me is the didgeridoo playing, harmonica playing, Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Wilson. Do you really play a didgeridoo?
I do know how to play didgeridoo, yeah.
I don't believe you. I think we're going to need that.
You know what? I'm going to tell you why I know how to play didgeridoo. I'm going to tell you the story of how it happened. So we've talked about it on the show before, but every year we go on a big annual camping trip. We get 30, 40 of us and we go out. We go up to Jenny Springs. And the second or third year that we went, he's been on the show before, our friend DP, Daniel.
Oh, yeah. Daniel.
Yeah, we did that cosplay episode, right?
Yes. Him and his girlfriend at the time came in. Yeah.
And we were just hanging out at the campsite, kind of recovering. It was early in the morning, like noon or something. And
early in the morning being noon. Kids.
And he says, "I'll be right back." And he grabs his boat, like a 2-person raft, and he runs at the river by where we were camping at and takes a flying leap off of a log that was on the edge of the campsite, like a huge tree. It's like 3 feet tall, running, flying leap into the water and lands in his raft. And we are like, "Oh, fuck, are you okay? What's going on?" And he turns around. He's like, I'll be back. And I guess these two chicks in the water had like, jump in, come hang out with us or whatever. And he booked it. He was fucking gone. He didn't come back for 8 hours. It got concerning at a point.
So he was chasing for the girl, jumping in the water for those girls. I get it. I understand that.
No, it made total sense. But later, they all came back to the campsite and they brought a stack of grilled cheese sandwiches, which was very welcome. At 9 o'clock at night, we're all already fucked up.
Yes,
and,
grilled cheese sandwiches are welcome anytime.
That's what I'm saying. But one of the girls knew how to play a didgeridoo, and so she taught me.
Nice. Didgeridoo and grilled cheese.
For the listeners that don't know what a didgeridoo is, that is a long, hollowed out piece of like bamboo or some kind of. I know bamboo's not the traditional instrument,
It
but
might actually be. I don't know. It's like hollowed out wood of some sort.
Sometimes like even like 14 feet long, and it's got this really deep, harmonious like wow, 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 wow sound when you get it going good.
Can you insert a didgeridoo sound here?
I can, but. After our show number 100, as many edits as I had to do in that, fuck that. I'm not inserting any more content for at least like 6 months. Give me like 6 months of a break.
What if I play your didgeridoo while you put it in?
I will insert anything you want me to at that point. You got to make that sound though.
The one you made just now?
Yeah, do it. There you go. Perfect. Wait, one more time. Let's see how it goes. That's pretty good.
I can picture.
Josh had his eyes closed during that. You were imaging that, weren't you? That's awesome, though. So, is there supposed to be like a rhythm or a pattern or something like that with a didgeridoo, or do you just freeform like jazz? Is it like a piece of jazz instrument?
So there are really cool pieces of music that are played on a didgeridoo, but it's not. Like when they play it though, they play it like an instrument and they go all over a range and there's like breaks in the noise. So unlike like the traditional didgeridoo that you'll find where they can just play and play and play constantly, it's like music with breaks and pauses, and there's almost like jazz style songs on the didgeridoo. It's very bizarre that people are so good at such a strange monotone instrument.
Yeah, it's bizarre. The sound is undeniable. When you hear it, you know what the instrument is coming from. It's kind of like I would almost want to say it's like the version of a bagpipe. Like what a bagpipe sounds like. It is undeniably a bagpipe, but a didgeridoo is obviously not like a bagpipe. But you know what I mean. It's unique. It's identifiable. I'm gonna insert a sound of a didgeridoo. Yes, fine. I got it. I'm gonna insert the sound of a didgeridoo.
Insert the sound. Everyone likes to listen to stuff.
I mean, that's a good point. Other than deaf people, they don't really like to listen to stuff.
I mean, I'm sure they'd like to.
Even ironic though, when we upload our episodes, when it gets uploaded into YouTube, because we also publish there as well, YouTube has its own algorithm for capturing our voice, and it turns it into a closed caption. So almost all of our episodes are closed captioned out there, and it gets most of it right. It'll get, I'd say, about 90 to 95% of the words right. When there's a lot of commotion and a lot of us talking, then it kind of goes all over the place.
I would love to see what it says for that.
Oh, it's funny. Like whenever Tack is talking, because Tack I love him to death, but you listeners, you know this. Tack he'll clear his throat, which usually I try to catch all those and edit them out for all of us, and I miss some. But when Tack does it, he clears his throat right into a note. Like he'll be saying something like, let me give you an example. So I was doing this one thing the other day. Yeah, that's Tack though.
But you know what though? We did talk about this. He's getting better.
Yeah, he is. His microphone skills are getting considerably better. Yes.
Well, it's fun to listen to podcasts. It's also fun to listen to audiobooks.
That's true. That's a very good hard segue.
That was solid.
Good job, Andrea Joy. What audiobooks are you listening to, love?
I've got.
Oh, Audible is not a sponsor
yet.
But yeah, exactly.
Shoot, what is the name of it?
All right. Well, she looks.
So we're talking about YouTube, like catching subtitles or catching the captions. Well, have you seen the shit that Adobe announced last year?
Yeah, that is scary. Andrea might not have seen this yet.
Andrea, did you see the Adobe press release where the AI learned the speaker's voice and he could type a sentence in and it would read it as him, his cadence, his pacing, his inflection, everything.
Wow.
It sounded just like him. It was actually kind of Skynet terrifying.
It is. So combine that with some AI, like who's working on it? Was it Google also working on the AI that they demonstrated? Yeah, I think it is Google. So Google identified, I'm just tying these two together because they're so close. Google has an AI, Andrea, that can literally make reservations for you for dinner and have a conversation with the person on the other end, like full on conversation. So you tell Google, hey, make me a reservation at so-and-so restaurant for 7 p.m. for 4 people. Well, Google makes the phone call. Google establishes the conversation, and it sounds like a perfectly normal speaking. The other person could not tell that it is an AI that's doing the phone call.
What if you asked him a bizarre question, though?
It handled that. So the one of the contacts that this Google Voice thing reached out was an Asian restaurant, and they were trying to make reservations. I don't know which Asian, but it was an Asian sounding person, Japanese, whatever. Well, often with a very heavy accent, depending on what part of the world that person's from, it's hard to understand. And Google understood and was able to communicate with the person and responded back as a normal person would. It's just fucking amazing. So if you combined the Google's AI with this Adobe's version of voice capturing and editing software, you could literally carry on conversations with, pick your favorite celebrity, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You could pick whoever you wanted. You could carry on conversations and they would be responding. It would be as if that person was talking to you. It's really cool.
Can you imagine the soundboard prank calls?
Could you talk to people who have passed? Your family members?
Here's the catch. Yeah, I agree. Here's the catch. You have to have enough of a database of their voice recorded already. So yes, you absolutely can. But inflections in voice is what this Adobe product that Josh is talking about captures. So the way you say something isn't the way everybody else says it. So it has to know how you speak to be able to produce that back at you. So yes, it could. But you have to have the voice.
It takes 20 minutes of conversational talking.
So I could do you if something happened to you.
You could do me anytime you want, yes. But yeah, you could. Anybody that has ever had that 20 minutes worth of good audio, you could isolate it and the application could pick it up. Yeah, that's fucking cool.
I'm going to make everyone I know talk to me for 20 minutes recorded.
And then carry on a conversation. See, I recorded you saying this, Erica. Here's where you promised me this. Yeah, that's kind of spooky.
Man, that's kind of you talk about, can you talk to somebody who's passed away? That's really weird. Imagine the memorials of the future. You can walk up to my headstone and press a button. Just be like, hey, what's up? You can just talk to people.
That's a good point.
How's it going?
There's enough recorded audio of Albert Einstein that you could actually have an audio book like these narrated with using this Adobe's product by the actual voice of Albert Einstein. How about that? How about reading On the Shoulders of Giants? A quote. Well, that was a Stephen Hawking book. All right. You ignore that. But imagine having a book written by Albert Einstein read to you in his own voice.
So real quick, trademark, us, 2019.
Oh.
We're going to make a shit ton of money. That's a great idea.
That is a fantastic idea. Though, with that software, that they've already thought about that. That that's something that they've already contemplated.
Yeah, because it's a multi-billion-dollar idea.
But maybe they didn't. That's how. I bet a lot of ideas people have they think someone else already did, and then they see it later like, dang, why didn't I say something back then?
Somebody probably thought of the paperclip before it was invented. So I guess that's a good point. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, agreed. Living Podcariously owns the trademark rights to that product idea. Let's go with that.
I think you can trademark an idea.
So I'm listening to a book right now called Your Best Brain. I've talked about this back in episode 20. But it is a phenomenal...
It's taken you that long to read it?
No. I have now listened or read this book probably 5 times. And I absorb different stuff listening to it each pass through the book, mostly because my brain is a little ADD and I won't focus on some parts, so I'll miss it. But it's part of the Great Lectures, which you'll hear on other podcasts. The Great Lectures are sponsors of lots of other shows. But Your Best Brain, it talks about the psychology and digging into why we think certain ways, how there's a whole section, there's a whole lecture on infants and their brains and how their brains work, and at what ages they develop things like empathy, the ability to look at the world through somebody else's eyes. That's about 4 years old is when they discover that they can now relate, say, oh, well, this person sees this interaction differently other than how I see it. Up until that age, all babies and infants don't know that somebody else can have another perspective on reality in general. But it's really fucking cool. Really neat. Talks all about IQ tests and talks about how they were founded, how they were formed, what they really tell you, which an ironic statement is IQ tests just really tell you how well you'll do at passing an IQ test. That's about all that it tells you, which is ironically funny.
I did really well on an IQ test in middle school.
Do you remember what you got?
137.
Nice. I only have you beat by a couple of points. I got 141. I'm almost genius. 145 is genius, according to whatever the fuck it is at the time.
I don't know. I took an aptitude test.
What did it tell you?
It was a lot of fun. It said that I should be in some sort of theater or acting or be an artist.
It
also, I have a very high mechanical aptitude and an extremely low vocabulary.
Oh,
wow.
Oh,
low vocabulary and extremely high, like very high mechanical aptitude. Guess I'm MacGyver.
So why does Adam fix the car?
I don't know. Maybe I should just do it.
You think I fixed the car? That's funny.
Anything at the salon that needs fixing, the air conditioning, the breaker box, the radio, they always have me do it, and I just do it. I don't know how.
Funny story about fixing the car. I just sold our blue car, and it's kind of sat in our driveway for, 6 months. I've cranked it up once or twice, and it cranks, and I let it run for about 20 minutes, and I turn it off just to keep the, oil going through the system or whatever.
Like literally once or twice?
Yeah, that's it. So this last iteration before I just sold it, it had sat for 3 months, not once being turned over. So I go to turn it on, and of course the battery is completely dead. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I thought, okay, I'll just have to, the next morning, I'll just have to jump it and then drive it up to where I was going to sell it. Nope, that didn't work either. I went to open the hood before doing the jump to the battery, and the battery has a date on them now, which is kind of cool, but it was from 2014. So there's the first problem. Second problem is when I went to take it out to go buy the new battery, the positive terminal was covered in this god-awful, ugly, green, bluish, teal-colored muck, which was
pretty.
It was actually kind of pretty, but it was acid. It was battery acid, or it was just eroding away. And it was so bad, Josh, that the positive terminal literally crumbled in my hand. I had a bare nub of an end of a wire. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know how I'm going to make this work. So then I had to hire a mechanic to get it. It's just a catastrophe. End of the day, I ended up selling it to a Haitian that's shipping it to Haiti. So, hey, good on him.
That's cool.
The book I'm reading is a lot different than yours.
What are you reading?
By Their Father's Hand. It's the story of the Wesson family massacre.
Oh, you're reading a crime book, huh? Like a murder?
Yeah, that's the most fun one.
Is it a true story?
It is. The father killed all of his kids. And there was a lot of, his kids were his kids were his kids.
I don't know what that means.
He had kids with his daughter and with his nieces.
Ew.
There was 9 kids, and then he killed all of them.
So he was crazy going into it. He didn't just snap one day.
I don't know. I just started. I keep falling asleep, and then I can't finish.
Do you listen to it in bed, or is it a really boring narrator?
I listen to it in bed.
Does it also have a boring narrator?
It could be better, but...
See, I can't do audiobooks before bed for that exact reason. Unless they're
you'll lose it,
really hype. It's just droning. It's in my ears, and I just stop paying attention. I'm done.
That's a part of my problem. I listened to the book from Eckhart Tolle. And those of you who listen to the self-help kind of books, Eckhart Tolle is one of those guys that he's a guru when it comes to motivating you to be a better you, which is cool. This is not a plug for him in any stretch of the imagination. I loved the book. I hated listening to him narrate his own book because, oh my God, he was like having a tantric episode every 4 chapters. It was really bizarre. And when he would change to a different topic, he'd have this little hand chime where he ding, and he'd go into his next topic. And it was just, the book was good. He should not have narrated his own book, though.
You got to have the chime to bring you back to the moment.
Oh, my God. Yeah, all right. Anyway, that one was called The Power of Now. So good on you, Eckhart Tolle. A good book, just should have got a different narrator for it. It was brutal.
Man, I really should do more videos for that YouTube channel. I'm still listening to all of these books. I just stopped making videos. I don't have any fucking time, dude.
Yeah, our time does seem to be diminishing.
Now that I'm out of the house 11 hours a day, and then I come home and I have the websites too. Ugh.
Well, you'll hit your. What did I say earlier? One of those rocks you're gonna turn over is going to find that gem that you're looking for. So pretty soon you can focus your efforts in that one only.
No, because then he'll have another little one. So then he'll have 2 little ones running around.
Well, but then he'll be home because he'll be making millions on his entrepreneur business online. So then he can afford to do that.
Yeah, that'll be cool. It's gonna happen. You're right. You haven't heard yet. I'm selling.
I thought you were going to say you were pregnant.
I am not pregnant currently. I am not capable of being pregnant either. In case you didn't know
Not
that.
you specifically.
I know. No, not yet. Sometime after August.
I know sometimes it just happens, though.
Yeah, like AJ.
Yes, that I just happened too.
Ours is AJ too.
I'm an AJ
also. Oh shit. Were you an accident?
I was. I was made a Datsun 280Z on my mom's graduation from high school.
Man, wow, really?
Yeah.
I knew the car, but I didn't know it was from graduation in high school.
It was graduation night.
Wow.
So she did graduate.
Yeah, I know exactly when and where I was conceived as well.
I don't. That's creepy. I mean, I know when, but
I remember. Josh remembers.
Yeah, no, I know when. Really bizarre. It was my parents' anniversary, their wedding anniversary, and 10 months later, there I was. But I don't know. I don't want to know where. I don't want to know what my parents were doing. My parents only had sex one time, and that was for me. All right, that's it. That's all I want to know.
They're boning right now.
I didn't want to know either.
I hope they're not boning. My dad's hip couldn't handle that, I don't think.
They still have sex.
It's got to be the only position possible, which is roll over and never mind. I don't want to talk about my parents having sex. No, too far.
All the time.
I am gonna push the microphone
they do
away.
When they're in Vegas too.
That's different. They're both probably drunk.
When we're their age, are we going to be fucking?
I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to.
Are you serious? Why wasn't this in the vows?
That was the wrong answer. In case you didn't pick up on that.
Oh. All right. Well, we're going to take a break in studio on that note. Andrea and I are going to go have sex. And
Before we get too old.
listen to a little bit of true Phonic. Again, we're going to get Jake Salter and the boys in studio with us here soon. Well, as soon as we possibly can. Yeah, we do. We got to actually do it one of these days. All right. We'll be right back after this.
While it's a crying shame, I'm still loving you. Ain't that the truth? And one of these days I'm gonna have to choose. That's why it's such a crying shame that I'm still loving you. Oh, while it's a crying shame, I'm even crying at all. Though tears may fall, I still have my alcohol. That's why it's such a crying shame that I'm even crying at all. Seems I've loved and lost another for the 10,000th time. I'm angry and confused, but I was a fool to forget that I'll always be alone, just shamefully still crying over you. out the truth. And it's all probably because of booze. Woo. That's why it's such a crying shame that I seem to be up past 2. Oh, as my luck would have it, I see I've reached a limit with such a saddening point of view. I'm stripped to my desire for some brand new first impression, just shamefully still crying over you.
And welcome back to Living Podcariously. You know, the two of these people in here tonight reminded me that I completely cut to break before we heard about Josh's Audible books that he's been listening to. So Josh, why don't you fill us in? What you been listening to? Please say nothing right now. That'd be awesome. Nothing. I'm not listening to shit.
It's funny because it's going to sound like the most boring book of all fucking time. See what I'm saying? It's called Made in America. It's Sam Walton's autobiography.
Ah, Mr. Walmart.
Mr. Walmart, yep. He is the most like down-to-earth, old-school country grandpa of all time. And
He's a nice dude.
Yeah, it makes me, he puts me in a good mood when he talks because he's always just like, you know, just the other day, and it could have been them or it could have been me. I don't really know, but here's what we did. He's just like real passive about everything. It's
Very matter-of-fact kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And he has been in retailing since 1945.
Damn, that's like World War I. I'm kidding. World War II-ish, but
So no, it's just a good. It's I've been listening to a lot of books about mindset. I think mindset is a very interesting thing. I'm thinking,
mindset.
yeah, like for a really easy go-to example is like when you wake up in the morning, do you say, I have to get up and go to work?
No, but usually when I wake up in the morning, like, shit, I'm fucking late again.
Fuck.
That's my mornings.
But it's just like a normal thing that's like how we're taught to think about work. But if you just replace the word have with the word get, I get to go to work. Doesn't change the outcome, and you can justify it in either direction. I get to go to work. I have to go to work. I mean, you have to go to work, but you also get to go to work because you're not infirm.
I get to go listen to idiots today.
But you also get a paycheck.
I get to go get a paycheck. Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
It's just like the purest of mindset. So if you can teach yourself to think in that way, it's just a little bit more optimism in the day.
So when I'm waking up at like 1:30 to feed the baby, I get to feed the baby.
I get to get up to nourish our baby.
I didn't say all of them were going to be easy.
She just smiles and I'm over it.
I get that. Scream, scream. Oh, you're happy now that I'm here. I'm going to encourage this even though I shouldn't.
They're so good at it.
But it's a really, like, my books have kind of shifted. Less about, like...
My boobs shift, too, as I'm getting a little bit older. They're just, books. My bad.
So, like, what's another one that I listened to? Extreme ownership is a really cool concept.
Oh, that's about slavery, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Not. It's absolutely not about slavery. But it's about it's like leadership principles, which sounds super boring again, but they do it in a very interesting way. Like they tell war stories, which is cool, like real Navy SEAL war stories. They're both Navy SEALs. And they were the guys that were there, so it's also read by them, which is cool. And so it's really interesting. You get like this 30-minute war story and then this quick like 2-minute cut where they extrapolate what the moral is. And then they talk about how they've applied that to a person or a business and it helped them. So it's just these really cool concepts, just like really stressful scenarios where they learn something. And then you just get this feel good on the other side where you're just like, oh, okay, if I take responsibility for every facet of getting something done, then I'm able to think about how I can solve those problems and not have to deal with other people who are just dragging their feet or making it hard.
That's pretty slick.
That's just, it's had a pretty big impact on how I think about my day to day. Like, I don't know, it was like episode 98, 99. I was talking about how like my entire life, my schedule for my entire life.
Your existential crisis episode, yes.
It was completely predicated on work. And And that was just because I was kind of thinking about how work fits into my life. Holy fuck. It's like
It controls your life. Yeah.
every single thing that I do is built around whether or not I have to go and do something I don't fully enjoy as much as literally anything
Everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I get to go to work, so that's cool.
I get to pay for this house for the next 30 years. Hey.
Well, thank you, daddies, for doing that.
Aw, that was sweet.
Doll. You had started to talk about your book, about the crime story, and you were going to
it's
tell us
okay.
about it.
It was fine.
All right.
Silly stuff that I listen to. I also am listening to Healthy Sleep Habits, Happy Child.
Healthy sleep
Love that
habits, happy child.
That
I
makes
read
sense.
it when Alyssa was a baby, and it helped me through everything.
Hmm.
When she would be in there crying, I would be looking at the book, reading it like, don't go in there, don't go in there, read the book, read the book.
Oh,
We're good. She's, to this day, she's always been really good at going to bed, and even by herself. But that's enough about books. Next up, Deep Thoughts with Andrea Joy.
Deep Thoughts with Andrea Joy.
Yes.
Is this like the Jack Handy from the old school SNL bits?
No.
Deep Thoughts from Jack Handy. You know.
I don't know the bit.
I know I'm older than Josh. I get that.
We're like
but,
the same age. I just don't know.
Oh, okay. It was a poet. It was like poems that were read.
Maybe that's why I thought of Deep Thoughts. with
Subconscious.
Andrea Joy.
Andrea Joy posted. Yes.
Right. So ready for him?
Yes.
What if my dog only brings back the ball because he thinks I like throwing it?
These are, you know what these are, don't you? These, you could retitle this to Things You Say to Stoned People. That's what this segment should be.
If poison is past its expiry date, is it more poisonous or is it no longer poisonous?
Ooh.
Does poison have an expiration date?
Everything from the FDA has to have an expiration date of some
The
kind.
Food and Drug Administration issues poison?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Oh,
going to ask.
actually, that's a good point.
Who issues the poison?
Oh, that's even is that part of your questions?
No.
I don't know. I don't know who would do that.
All right. Which letter is silent in the word scent? SCENT. The S or the C?
Mind blown.
Do twins ever realize that one of them is unplanned?
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's just wrong. What if both of them were unplanned, though? Hang on a minute.
That's true, because you could just say that.
One of them was unplanned. That's bad to tell twins, man. That's like
But it's
fucking
always
with somebody.
true.
That's not true. Like if we had twins, we would have loved that because we wanted
we were
twins.
planning on having a baby. We weren't planning on two.
All right,
That
I mean
was
that's
just a
fair.
surprise. Doesn't mean it was bad. Why is the letter W in English called W? Shouldn't it be called double V? Nothing.
That straight up sounded like a bong. No, I mean so I've heard.
Thanks for bringing that wine. That is going to prepare me for this list.
Maybe oxygen is slowly killing you, and it just takes 75 to 100 years to fully work.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Every time you clean something, you just make something else dirty.
So I will never wipe my ass again. Got it.
No, you make that toilet paper dirty. The word swims upside down is still swims.
What would that type of word be called?
Usually that's a palindrome.
No, that's spelled
Oh.
the same backwards. This is flip the word upside
Oh,
down.
I thought that was kind of the same issue. Like mom is a palindrome. You can say
No.
it backwards and forwards. This one, it's kind of like it. Come on.
No, you cannot spell swims backwards.
Then it's smuse. Yeah, smuse.
Duh. Smuse. Ugh. Andrea.
Last one. Intentionally losing a game of rock, paper, scissors is just as hard as trying to win.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is. 1 in 3. Yeah. All right, we're going to do it.
Right, try to lose.
So do you do rock, paper, scissors, shoot? So
shoot,
1, 2,
yeah.
3, shoot.
Yeah, and
All
try
right.
to lose.
Try to lose. I won. Fuck. You win.
That
Yeah.
makes me the winner because I lost.
Yes, you lost. Interesting.
just as hard.
I'm still hung up on that twins thing. Like, I don't know any twins, but it really makes me want to tell a twin.
Yeah.
One of
Do
you
you
is
guys-
unplanned.
You know what? If you
know
were still
twins.
single, if you were, my cousins are up in North Carolina.
Oh, don't
I
do
don't
that
want
to
to tell
your
them that. No. If you were still single and dating, like in the dating life, and you met twins out at a bar, that would be a great like neg to give them. It makes them think. You know what I'm talking about?
That would be a great nag.
Yeah.
That'd be
How does
a
it
really good nag.
Yeah. How does it feel to know one of you was not planned?
I know some twins.
You do?
Do it.
They're so little though. They're like
Oh.
11.
Oh, no, you do that to adults.
They're
That's fine.
identical twin boys.
Aw.
And considering their mom was a twin, they might have been both planned. I bet
Yeah,
she
maybe.
planned on having twins.
Twins run in Margaret's family.
Twins run in
That's
my
what you're
family
having
pretty
next.
heavy too.
Don't say things like that.
Josh is going to have a
sorry.
baby of 3 girls.
We're in the Why Are We Here studios. I'm getting like this clairvoyance message.
Oh my god! So, you want to hear the most insane shit ever?
Absolutely.
So-
You cannot lead into that without an
so-
answer of yes.
Our friend's mom, I will leave her name out of this, but her mom 100% legitimately believes if she rubs her middle finger of one hand on the nail of her pointer finger of the same hand, she can predict the future.
I can do that too.
She like straight up looked at her and said, "Hey, you need more vitamin C in your diet. Have you not been feeling well?" Like
How about-
clairvoyant superpowers from rubbing her nails.
How about you hold up both and say, "Give me something good, bitch, like the lottery numbers." How about that? Sorry, not to call your friend's mom a bitch. That was insensitive.
It's fine. She would not argue.
Okay.
Would she have given the numbers?
I'm sure that she would come up with some fucking numbers.
I would have given you
I mean,
numbers.
I don't know. Maybe she's onto something. I don't know enough to argue with
Well,
her.
I
She
don't
lives a
know
long
if
ways
you
away.
guys know this, but I used to do fortunes at bars all the time. I would
Really?
read everyone's hands. I'd read their palm.
Or do it. Do Josh. Read
Do I
Josh's
ha-
hands.
No, I would have to be very intoxicated. It only worked then.
Well, we have wine.
Did I? I don't know how it worked or what I did. I just made complete shit up.
Well, then you're doing it right because that's pretty much how the industry goes.
But everyone was just completely amazed. And they would take me to their friend and be like, "Here, read her hand." And I would do it again.
That's another
It was
great
awesome.
pickup trick right there.
I said we kind of did the same thing, just with psychology. Just ask a bunch of questions.
That's
The
true.
cube.
Yeah. Oh, the cube was my absolute favorite bit of all time. I think I did the cube on Andrea.
You did.
Yeah.
And I think I did it on the podcast,
You
didn't
can
I?
do it again.
You did.
Nah, it's a long-winded. Our listeners don't want to hear that thing again.
Oh.
The cube, for the listeners out there, go look it up, is from the book called The Game by Neil Strauss.
It's actually not from that book. He
referenced it in the
references
book,
it.
yeah.
It's
So it's
actually
from
a psychology thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Oh, I didn't
actually
know
like
that.
based on a real like psychological evaluation
Oh.
thing. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
For all of the same reasons, actually. Like the whole gimmick for pickup is pretty much a straight cube. It's like Jeff something.
You mentioned during that little list that you just did along the lines of oxygen. Excuse me again. If oxygen is just slowly killing you over 75 years as opposed to, making
Keeping
you live.
us alive.
I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast before. If you did, correct me, and we can skip the topic. But if you had the option right now to genetically stop aging, all right, if that was an option, you can't reverse an age, you can't go back. But if you could literally take an injection into your body and it would stop you from ever aging again, your body would no longer have a cellular decomposition. It would you would rebuild your cells, but they would be identical to what you've got right now. Would you do it? Now,
You've asked me this before, and
I didn't know if I asked it on the podcast.
not on the podcast, but I wouldn't just be able to just be like, "Oh no, I wouldn't do it." Just with you first asking me.
I mean, that's
But
literally.
I don't think I would. I think I want to enjoy each moment. I want to enjoy growing older. There
Each
seems
stage
to
of
be-
life?
Yeah, there seems to be things that you get out of each of those. And then there would be people. I don't want to watch everyone around me die.
What if
either.
everybody could get it done? Now, granted, let's
But would
overlook the crisis ability of hunger. So look past that, because eventually, if everybody didn't die, if you didn't age, if your body didn't age, you were still just as fragile as before. So if you got shot, you're gonna die.
There's so many
but you
young
wouldn't
people not
age.
vaccinating their kids, though. So I might get some terrible disease, and that would be even worse.
Well, if you're already vaccinated, you're fine. This doesn't change your body's immune system.
Was I? Back in 1981?
What are you talking? Of course you were vaccinated. Are you telling me you're not vaccinated?
I don't know what I'm vaccinated for.
Oh, I don't know what I'm vaccinated for either. I have them all. I have all of the shots I've ever been told I was supposed to get.
But
the expectation is that you have all the shots that you were supposed to have gotten at the time.
The stuff that came out after I was a baby.
That's perfectly. There's not like another polio.
Chicken pox was never something. There wasn't a vaccination for chicken pox when we were kids.
Did you get the chicken pox?
I did.
You have the vaccine.
I'm confused by your statement. I'm lost a little bit.
She's just saying that any new vaccinations that have become required since she was a kid, she never went back and got like the new shots.
How does that affect your choice of never aging beyond the age you're at right now?
Because these new diseases are going to pop up.
When they pop up, you just get the new vaccines for them.
But what if it's too late?
All right, I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't know how vaccinations work with older
She's worried
people.
about catching ice cap bacteria. That's her concern.
That's a legitimate concern too, by the way. So the reason I'm asking this question is the scientist in China, so to back up even further than that, CRISPR is the technology to identify the human genome strings and basically break down everything about a person into a genetic sequence. And they've broken CRISPR. CRISPR is now a technology that can be used to manipulate the human genome. So manipulate you, me, babies that are unborn, etc. With the right application, once they take your blood and run your DNA, they can find the sequence in your DNA that for your cellular breakdown and rebuild of your entire body's cellular system, they can find the gene that is programmed to apply age to your genes. If they were able to reverse that or stop that gene, just silence that particular set of instructions in your DNA, you would theoretically never age. Everything about you would never age. Now, you could still, it's not like the vampire thing where if you get bit by a vampire, that's how you're going to be forever, True Blood style.
Well,
it's not like that. That is kind of cooler, however, that they're immortals. That's different.
But there would be too many people.
That's the part that I was saying. Ignore the potential outcome of us suddenly getting to...
You can't ignore the outcome. You can't ignore that. You need to think about that.
That's fair. All right. I get you.
So I've thought about this since we originally talked about it. And I have decided that here is how that whole thing would go for me. I would say no. For the same reasons that Andrea said. I think life has no meaning if you never die. I feel like I wouldn't value anything after 100 years. I would just fuck this. Everybody I know is dead, except the 5 other people who were super rich and got this same never die injection.
Sure.
So what would happen was I would say no, and I would be happy about my decision. And I would be like a cool outside observer, and I would enjoy watching the people who never die and the social dynamic that forms around them. It would become celebrity for a while. It would be a very weird social experiment to watch. And then I would get old, and I would regret my decision, and then I would die.
You'd be like, I don't want to die. I want to stay with my grandkids, my great-grandkids.
When you're 90 years old on your deathbed dying from... I do. Dying from whatever kind of ailment that you've got, you'd still have the option to take the shot, but then you live forever as an old dude with fucking butt cancer or something.
Infirm, immobile.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That brings up another one. Every male, no matter who it is, 100% of men will eventually develop prostate cancer, which is a very interesting study. The catch to that is that it's so slow to metastasize and grow that most men don't live long enough to really have the effects of prostate cancer, impede on their lifestyles.
What if you get rid of it?
Your prostate?
Yeah.
Kind of important. Kind of need that thing. Your boner don't work if you get rid of that.
Well, if you're gonna live forever, you're gonna need to get rid of it then.
Yeah, but that also controls your pressure on your bladder, so you would just be incontinent for the rest of your life. You would walk around peeing everywhere you go. It would just be an open sieve.
If you wanted to live forever and it's going to eventually become or develop cancer, then...
I guess I need a synthetic prostate. Ooh, is it like one of those Nike push balls on tennis shoes? Where it's and then when you're ready to pee... oh, because that's what a prostate does. It contracts.
You'd have way too much fun with that.
I definitely would. God, could you imagine you pop that? You're getting ready to have sex. You got to pump it up a little bit, and then what happens? Never mind. All right. So I've thought about it a lot too. I would absolutely do it. I definitely would. My quest for knowledge, not to say academically, but just in general in life and experiences, would lead me to want to do it. I would hope that I could convince you, Andrea, to do it with me. That way we are together forever.
I don't want to watch our kids die.
Get them to do it too, and at an age that they're comfortable with. They
would pick the wrong age. How do you know what age to pick?
25. The answer is 25. If you have to pick an age to be forever, it's 25.
It's an interesting reason to pick that.
I would pick 25 too.
Why'd you pick it?
Yeah, I would pick 30.
Really, 25 to 30, the same reasonings. You've got good health. You have the ability to get good health. If you just exercise your body, for most people, is at a good state. But your brain is also developed to a point where you can make adult decisions. Of course, that would continue as you stay older, but like you wouldn't end up with a 15-year-old's body and then you're like 45 and you want to do 45-year-old things and then you're a 15-year-old body, and it would be like a weird, very
25 is an interesting
dynamic.
25 is an interesting age to pick because that is actually right around the age as of 25 where you begin to decompose as a human, where your body's cellular breakdown starts. From birth to 25-ish, everybody's different, but from birth to 25, your body is not. It doesn't have the aging factor of regressing into old age. But from 25 on, that's what happens. Your ability to build muscle mass, your bone density, all of that stuff is building up. And around 25, it peaks and there comes the other side of the hill. That's literally the over the hill mark, is the right around the 25-year-old mark.
I never got an over the hill cake when I turned 30.
That's 40.
Technically 40 is over the hill.
Oh, is it 40 now?
Yeah.
40 is. What do you mean now? It's always been 40.
I remember being 30 when I was a kid.
No, it's always been 40. We're older than you. We should know.
That's true. So, hey, I learned something interesting. The sun or the Earth doesn't orbit the sun in the way that I always thought. So,
Are you talking about the spiral?
it's the fact that our solar system is moving, relatively speaking, if you have the model in your mind of the flat solar system where we're all in equal orbits, it moves upwards. So we don't actually ever go through the same spot in space, ever, because we're moving, relatively speaking, up. So we chase the sun in an orbit. So we've never actually like orbited the sun in the traditional sense.
Do you understand what he's talking about, Andrea? Okay, so the sun, irrelevant to us, is constantly moving at like 400,000 miles an hour through space right now. The catch to that is, though, it's relative motion, not actual motion. This is something that I found fascinating. Derek helped explain this to me, our buddy Derek, back from episode whatever it was.
X gonna give it to you.
Yeah. The relative speaking part of that is that the space is also expanding. So while it would appear that we're now 400,000 miles further than we were an hour ago from another system, star system, we're not. It's the space in between us and that other star system has increased. Yes, we are probably moving in motion through space, but there's no relative comparison to give that to. There's no single point in space that never moves. So that's kind of hard to draw that analogy, because to use this, we're getting really nerdy. I like this. To use it as an example is if you had a spaceship that was flying through space at 400,000 miles an hour, an impact from a micrometeorite would decimate the spacecraft. Mm-hmm. So by that same thinking, if Earth is following the sun on this 400,000 mile an hour track through space, we hit stuff all the time then. Or theoretically we would. Our atmosphere is not strong enough to stop an impact from something like that. So that means we're not really moving. It just means the universe is expanding and we're moving with that expansion. So we're not going to suddenly come into a whole bunch of micrometeorites that are just stationary. Everything is moving together. So it's really interesting. So the spiral may not actually be the case.
Nope, it's still the case.
May not.
We're still trailing behind the sun.
Okay. That's food for another conversation at a later point.
I mean, Because even if it's relative to nothing, we're still moving upwards. Like we're
Not
still
really.
We're
I
still
thought this
trailing.
podcast was about farts and sex.
Way to keep us on track, babe. You're absolutely right.
And with that, we're going to take a break. Next up, we're going to have the Guyry. It's a different kind of Guyry, but it's still the Guyry.
Never try if you have to, but you can't survive if they will let you. Will you hide away in a bedroom? Oh, is that really just what you're used to? Oh, so you're putting some pictures, trying to make it a home, but it's a homely home if you're eating alone. You find yourself waiting on the ring of the phone, swearing to yourself that you're finding your own. Searching for your direction, but though you're reaching out to someone, only see your own reflection. Oh, still a putting up pictures, trying to make it a home, but it's a homely home if you're sleeping alone. You find yourself waiting on the ring of the phone, and swearing to yourself that you're finding your own. Come on. Such a lonely world, a world of inequality. Are we searching for a cure? Are we choosing to ignore? We're seeing more, hey, misery. So I'm a Branson. No, I've never been a man for gambling. Only I decide my fate. No, I'm sure nothing will ever change. Oh, so I'm taking down the pictures of my so-called home, where I was sure I would spend my whole life alone. Ain't nobody on the other end of the phone, but my misery is slowly turning into a song. Yeah. Oh, it's such a lonely world, a world of inequality. Well, are we searching for a cure? Well, are we choosing to ignore? We're seeing more, hey, misery.
All right, so we've had something that has been lingering looming over the show now for at least like 10 episodes, I want to say. I want to say it goes back a pretty good distance when we finally figured out that Mr. Wilson had not seen a cult classic movie. Now, this is one of the movies that every person that listens to this show has to have seen at least one time, and Mr. Wilson had not seen it.
It's like being a virgin.
It is. So let's get Mr. Wilson's recap, and I'm so sorry that Tak's not here, but oh well, shit happens. Mr. Wilson, give us your recap on the cult classic The Goonies.
All right. So I finally watched The Goonies.
Finally.
Yep. And what I decided is that it is only going to be good if you were a child in 1985 and you watched it as a kid, because it is a fucking kids movie.
Oh, he's going to break our heart. It is a kids movie. It's a kids movie about an adventure that they go on.
Don't get me wrong. Like, it was entertaining, but I couldn't stay focused on it. I was so bored. Like, and I'm like really open-minded. Yeah, it just, don't get me wrong. Like, if as a kid watching it now, it would still be a good adventure story.
Hey, you guys.
But it just...
But it's so good to me watching it now.
Because you have that memory.
The nostalgia kicks in for us when we're watching The Goonies.
I watched it like probably every single summer. Like that was one of the movies I always rented. They had 5 for 5 for 5.
That's what I'm saying.
5 movies, $5, 5 days. And Goonies was always one of them.
It's just, I don't want to say that is a bad movie. They did a good job with it. It's just a kid's movie from 1985.
And Andy, I wanted to be her.
Which one was she?
The redhead.
Oh, okay.
She was the one that kissed the little brother in the cave.
Kelly Green is the actress. Carrie Green.
The Goonies had so many, I don't know. But the number one, it had some fucking phenomenal actors that later acted in other, just whatever. They had great actors.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, nothing but great things to say about, like, the acting in the movie was awesome. And I mean, for 1985, like, all the effects and sets and stuff like that, it was done very well. I was just bored. It's a kid's movie. There's
some outtakes you should YouTube. You may not care, but some of the actors at the time, like the kid who plays Chunk, the fat little funny dude, he did an interview on some like daytime talk show, so I don't know what it was at the time, but the guy interviewing him was an older guy, so he was probably, I wouldn't say he was 50, interviewing young Chunk from the movie. I don't remember his real name, and the kid. I don't even know the best way to describe it. His comedy timing during the interview was exactly as if he was the character on the show. Not on purpose. That was really his personality. Like the guy was asking him, so what do you do in your spare time? He's like, well, Bob, I do a lot of jogging, just because he's obviously not an athlete in any shape or fashion. And he asks a question about his food. He's like, yeah, I'm all about salads, all salad. Just, he nails these questions. And it's so fucking funny because he's self-deprecating comedy, which is, to me, sometimes some of the best. Because if you're able to laugh at yourself about things, that tells me a lot about your personality. And, oh man, he was so funny. But yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry he didn't hold up for you.
Yeah, it's all good. Like, I thought the Truffle Shuffle was going to actually play a role in the movie. They were just being mean to him.
Yeah, yes, that's just straight bullying. Yes.
It just made him feel like garbage and then let him follow them on their adventure. And then he just shows up with the mutant and just saves the day.
Yeah, basically. I was sad, though. All that they got out of that pirate ship at the very end was one little sack of gems that was enough to save the Boondocks.
That's all they needed.
That's all that they needed. Out of all those millions of dollars of treasure that was on One-Eye Willie's boat, that's all that they ended up getting. I want to see a Goonies 2. I really do. I would love to see those same kids go back through that same adventure again.
They're not kids anymore.
Wouldn't that be a weird movie to watch? I wonder if any of them are still alive.
Bunch of drunk adults going on the treasure hunt.
Yes.
There's a lot of those.
I just saw that Jay and Silent Bob are making a new movie. I don't know how I feel about that.
I saw I'm okay with Jay and Silent Bob.
I'll watch it. Kevin James.
I'll watch it too.
Kevin, whatever.
Yeah.
Silent Bob makes great movies.
I just saw, so you watched with me a while back, the little respite where you were living with us for a short time. You watched, all right.
Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused, yeah.
And in the movie in Dazed and Confused, Matthew McConaughey's character, you have any weed? You'd be a lot cooler if you did. You watched that with us and thought it was good. It held up pretty well to its time. I just saw a trailer, and I don't know if it's going to be a sequel to that many years later, but it shows Matthew McConaughey as a stoner going into a convenience store and asking the clerk, "Hey man, do you guys sell any acid?" It's like, no, man, we don't sell acid. He's like, "Well, you guys used to." And that was pretty cool. I'm wondering if they're going to make a sequel to it, because I have to look up the name of the movie, because it's Matthew McConaughey now, so many years older, still like stoner, living it up. That'd be really cool if that's a Dazed and Confused sequel.
Getting paid more money than we can imagine to just do shitty stoner throwbacks.
Yes.
Even if it's just a cameo. He made 5 years of my salary just to show up and say those sentences.
Absolutely right. That movie will bring in $500 million because of that actor. That's ridiculous. Speaking of that, Captain Marvel is going to hit $1 billion. They're estimating.
Really excited to see it. I don't care what the critics say.
I haven't read any critics' reviews. I think it's going to be pretty good too.
Torn apart because the lead actress decided to take a feminist stand, and right, wrong, or indifferent, people were not okay with that. And so the movie got really bad reviews because the lead actress shared an opinion that.
I'm really surprised Marvel didn't give her some kind of, blanket gag order from social media. Has to be all criticized by them.
They probably did after that.
Yeah,
it might have been an interview or something in person. I don't know. But either way, apparently...
It's not hurting their sales.
That's what I'm saying. I'm still going to go, and I'm still going to enjoy it. And I'm going to stay all the way through the 10 minutes of credits just to see the secret ending.
Ooh. Speaking of women, is it time for the diary?
I'm sorry, Andrea.
I do have a diary.
And here we go.
Peering into the inner thoughts and expressions of men. Women submit questions to get brutal, honest admissions. We call this the diary.
Diary? Really? Hey, Tack, is that the best name we could come up with?
Yeah, just go with it.
Aw, I think it's adorable.
Can we man up the music a little bit or something?
I got you, buddy.
Okay, so since we got hardly any questions,
We don't get that very often. There's not been very many weeks where we haven't had a lot of questions come in.
I guess everyone knows everything they possibly want to know about you guys.
They haven't heard about my Fermunda cheese.
Ooh. So please send them in. But in lieu of that, I have another idea for the diary.
Ooh, okay.
We're going to find out 41 slightly disgusting things guys secretly do.
Ooh, secretly do? So we're going to have to own up.
Yes, you have to be honest. Let us know if this is true. I'm just going to kind of read through them. Some will be fast. Some we can go through 2 or 3, and then you might want to comment on it.
All right,
Some
all right.
are pretty self-explanatory. Some you might just be like, yep.
The diary speed round.
Do we secretly do these things? Do guys in general? And for the listeners, you'll know if we're telling the truth or not. That's the whole point of this bit, is to be honest with the ladies or guys who send in the questions to Andrea on Facebook for this bit. However, tonight we're going to be honest about this list. All right, cool. I like it.
And if we start going through it and you guys want to talk about every single one, we'll just have to have a part 2 to finish up.
All right.
This is also from BuzzFeed. It is not my list. So, number 1, peeing in the shower.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Peeing in the sink if the shower's too far away.
Only once.
Yeah, I was going to say, everybody's got that drunk story. Everybody does.
Number 3, cutting their fingernails and leaving the clippings laying around.
I don't know if I secretly do that. If I do it, it's an accident.
Yeah.
I'll do my very best to throw that away, because I think I get grossed out when I see even my own. Like 2 days later, I'm like, oh, that's gross. That's mine too.
Turning dirty boxers inside out to wear them again another day.
Nope. Do not do that. I just wear them straight for a week, just like they are.
I'll go without before I flip them inside out, backwards, all that garbage. Gross.
So 5 is sniffing underwear laying on the ground to tell if it's acceptable to wear again.
Nope.
I don't like making a habit of that, but I have done that.
You have done a
Yes,
sniff test?
I have sniff tested my own underwear.
Number 6 is wearing it anyway, even if it doesn't smell good.
No.
Nope.
If it doesn't smell good, I definitely will not wear it.
Number 7, shaving and not taking the time to wash away the whiskers that fell into the sink.
Yep.
unfortunately, yeah, I think that's...
I mean, it's not like something I secretly do, though. Like, I just fucking forget.
Yeah, I'll procrastinate. I'll get that when I'm done with a shower. And then, no, I definitely don't.
In fact, that was for Margaret's bachelorette party. They did like a, secret questions about your groom thing. And that was her pet peeve that she listed that I do.
Really?
Because I cut my own hair and all that. And I guess I was in the habit back then of leaving. I guess that's why I'm not in the habit now. Because it worked.
She called your shit out on it. There you
They
go.
actually sell a thing on Amazon. It was on Shark Tank, and it collects. You put it on, and it makes a big, it collects the hair as it falls. What would I call a thing that's
Apron?
Well, an
I know what
apron
you're
that
talking-
sticks out
sticks
stiff.
to the mirror?
Yeah, it sticks
I
to
know what
the
you're
mirror
talking
and it
about.
catches everything.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I own a broom.
Well, that's even easier.
I have a wife.
Oh.
Just kidding. I mean, I do. I have one.
Number 8, scratching their beards and watching the dandruff fall out.
If you're using a product from Mr. Wilson.
Let Mr. Wilson do his own.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I did until I started using beard oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Masterful beard oil solved that problem.
Ding.
That's it. Just
Number 9, taking their wieners out of their underwear before even getting to the urinal.
Ooh, urinal implies public. I will definitely not whip my dick out in a public restroom before I get to the urinal.
What about any
But at home?
I say
Sure.
I've done it at a public urinal. And like I've walked up and it's happened and I don't mean to. And I get to the toilet and I'm like, I've had my dick out for way too long.
No wonder that dude was smiling at me.
And leaving the bathroom before even completely closing their zippers.
Accidentally, maybe. I
see it all the time. Guys
Yeah,
come
I
out
know.
of the restroom and they're zipping up their fly.
That's because they didn't wash their hands. Those are the people you don't shake hands with.
Ooh.
Because they're like, oh, I'm done. I got to get back
That's
to
not
this.
necessarily true because I sometimes forget to zip up. I'll put my dick in, go wash my hands because I might have got pee on it or something, and then I'm like, oh yeah. As I'm leaving the bathroom, I'll put my zipper up.
That is a really unfortunate condition to have.
Yeah, well, hey, shit happens.
Number 11, farting, then taking the time to appreciate the fragrance they've just made.
Yeah, everybody smells their own farts. That's girls too. So sorry, everybody's gonna smell their own
Everybody
I
farts.
does.
don't fart.
Of
Number
course you
12,
don't.
farting under the covers, then ducking under them to really take the time to appreciate the fragrance they've just made.
That's a little bit too OCD sounding,
That's-
or maybe not OCD, but just obsessive with that function.
That's weird. I've farted under the covers and pulled it over Margaret's head.
That's a Dutch oven. Yes,
Does that
I've Dutch oven people before.
I want her to take in the aroma.
13, farting loudly when no one's on the street with them.
On the street? What am I, my pimp not around or something? Am I walking it? Am I working?
You're just all by yourself walking outside.
I can't think of a scenario where that's happened, but I will say that yes, I absolutely would
Yeah, no matter where I am, if nobody's around me and I have to fart, it's going to happen.
for sure.
Yeah, so
The
it doesn't.
loudest you could possibly do it.
Oh
well,
yeah,
well, so you can't push too hard. You're going to shit. So as hard as I need to push to get the fart out. And if it happens to be a good trumpet, then great. That's awesome.
Number 14, farting in an elevator and praying that no one gets in.
No,
Yep.
I have a pet peeve against that. You do that?
absolutely.
You son of a bitch. I will not do that on purpose because I don't want to accidentally Dutch oven somebody 5 minutes from now.
If it's a short ride, I'll do it and then get off. I'm that guy. It's fine. And I get out and I laugh about it. Just like someone's going to walk into that.
There's that sign right below the no smoking sign that says no fumers.
Oh, is that what that is? I always. Number 15, having a cold and wiping snot on the sleeve of their shirt.
No, I do not do that.
Yeah, I avoid that if at all possible.
Maybe when you were like 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sniffing their armpits to tell if it's time to take a shower.
sure.
Yep.
Being too lazy to take a shower and slathering on deodorant instead.
That is called an Italian shower. That's the name. You put deodorant or cologne over top of an already stinky body. Yeah, I've done that before.
Shoving their hand into their underwear and taking the time to scratch their balls really well.
I wouldn't say it's
Yeah.
secretive, but
I mean, yes, I won't
Yeah.
do that in front of other people. I guess that would be a secret habit
yeah, I guess
because it's just like rude. Like if I stood
Smell
up,
it. Oh,
No, go ahead.
Smelling it afterward, just
Always.
out of curiosity.
Gotta smell. No, you gotta smell it. It's a smell test.
Nope. My Fremunda cheese. I was talking about that.
Number 20, not washing their hands.
After you use in the bathroom or just in general life?
Well, after you've been your hands in your underwear.
Oh, so this is
scratching,
sequential. Yeah.
And then I'm sure it's underwear, balls, touching.
Depends situationally. If I'm at the ballpark, of course I wouldn't be scratching my balls
the
at the ballpark.
in your underwear?
Yeah.
Is
Play ball. If I'm out in public and I have to scratch, usually I wouldn't guess I would go in my pants. I just like reposition the boys down there a little bit.
You do that weird jazz shuffle.
I don't know. Even if I'm at home, I can. Yeah. Even if I'm at home, I don't know if I scratched my balls. I guess I wouldn't. I guess I don't think to go wash my hands after scratching my balls. Partially because my balls are usually clean, so it's not a big deal. Unless I've been sweating or something, it's different.
That is true. You wash it and cover it.
Yeah, it's like the cleanest part of you.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's not. Just wash your hands, guys. Okay. Number 21. Picking their nose and spending a good 5 minutes analyzing the color and texture of their day's work.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, not really.
No checking out your boogers?
No. I mean, not even 5 seconds.
Just take it out and throw it away?
I mean, I'll look if it's a particularly remarkable, like, I don't know, like there's certain times where you pick your nose and you're just like, oh my God, I'm pulling a piece of my brain out.
Yes.
You have to look at it. You're just like, how big was that? Every time. And then you get a tissue and throw it away, flick it in the trash or whatever.
And then scratch your balls and wash your hands.
Yeah.
All right. Gross. The next one is then eating their day's work.
That's disgusting.
Nope.
Only fucking freaks and weirdos eat their boogers. I'm sorry.
Yep, I agree.
Kids, that's different because they're learning. They don't understand that process yet. If you're an adult and you eat your boogers, you fucking turn off our podcast off right now. You're not allowed to listen to Living Podcariously anymore. I am sorry. That's disgusting. There goes half our audience.
Sorry, quick just story. My earliest memory, one of my earliest memories, is a family friend. His name is Ernie. And I was a kid, and he convinced me that eating boogers was good for me or something.
Yes.
And I remember we were at, I remember the apartment. I remember where we were sitting at, and I remember him convincing me, and I ate a booger, and then all of the grown-ups around me laughed. That's all I remember. But
he shamed you out of it.
It's
That's
one of
good.
my earliest memories.
Number 23. On really hot days, shaking their leg vigorously to unstick their balls from their thigh.
100% of the time.
That's the jazz shuffle I was just referring to.
Yep.
Peeing in a bottle because the toilets are too far away.
I've done that once, but I'm going to claim it was for a medical condition. This is when I was in Iraq and I got injured. My rhabdomyolysis, whatever, was starting to kick in, and I literally couldn't walk. So I peed in a giant water bottle we had there.
I'll tell you what, I recently learned one of our close friends does that on road trips regularly.
Pees in a bottle?
He is an adult.
Well, 25 is forgetting to throw the bottle away.
I don't know. I've never found a bottle of piss in his car.
Funny inside story, that bottle that I peed in Iraq, I was then medevaced. Somebody had to throw that away out of my room because I never went back there. So somebody threw my piss away.
Or took it home because it was a full bottle.
I certainly hope they didn't. Just leave it at that. It was not healthy.
The best case scenario is that they looked at it and said, old soda.
Yeah.
The worst case scenario is they opened and they went, really old soda.
Number 26, blowing their nose in the shower.
Sure, yeah.
Yep.
Not washing their hands after going to the bathroom, claiming that they didn't touch anything.
I've done that before.
Yeah, I make a point to wash my hands after I go to the bathroom, but not because I went to the bathroom.
To let other people around you know that you washed your hands so they don't feel uncomfortable?
No, just people are gross, and I'm already in the bathroom. And it's the social thing that we're supposed to do, so I wash my hands.
What if you're at home by yourself?
Even if I'm at home. It's just I'm in the habit of Just
I
like-
could grab my shorts, pull them down, pee, shake a little to get that last little drop
That's
off.
why there's piss all over the side of the toilet,
Son of a bitch.
on the floor.
Is this a
on
secret
the
attack
walls.
against Adam?
No, I'm
part
actually
of the show?
just happy this happened to be in this list.
No, it has nothing to do with my own personal hygiene. It has zero to do with me. It's just all the surfaces and stuff that I touch throughout the day. Like, I play video games. You ever think about how fucking gross your controller is?
I don't want to talk about that.
That's what
My
I'm saying,
controller
like,
is nasty.
That's
at
what I'm
home.
saying. So, like, I go to the bathroom and I just wash my hands. I have soap in there just because I have a child. So now I just wash my hands. It takes me 15 seconds. My hands are clean. And I don't even think about it anymore. Secret habit.
Good. Everyone should do that. It would be good. All right. Peeing standing further back from the toilet than usual just to work on their marksmanship.
I mean, I have done that before. I don't, probably not in the last 10 years, other than when you have a boner. Sometimes, if you can't do the lean properly, you got to back away from the toilet a little, or just turn and let it go in the shower, one or the other, and then shower off the walls. I'm sorry, when
Why
you have a
the
boner,
bathroom smells.
sometimes that boner will not aim down. It sometimes happens.
Your bathroom sounds gross.
Yeah, don't eat out of our bathroom anytime.
There's piss everywhere.
Everywhere. All right. Number 20. We did that one. Number 29. Forgetting to lift the toilet seat.
Nope, I never forget to lift it because it's not anybody's responsibility to raise or lift.
If the seat is down, I always lift. But I will say I don't always put it back down.
But you should.
Oh, you mean like that? Yeah, I always lift the toilet. I understand now. Taking a piss, I always lift it.
Andrea answered this once for me a long time ago because my debate has always been girls don't put the seat down. I mean, lift the seat up for me when they're done.
There's a lid.
Why should I put the seat down?
There's a lid.
I don't understand.
The toilet seat has a lid. It
Okay,
has a
so
lid for a reason.
I'm talking about the seat, not the lid. Ignore the lid. Fuck
the
a lid.
lid is there for a reason. It's to keep the bacteria inside of that when you flush it.
So your purpose here, and the reason I was actually going to defend you, is not for anything like out of courtesy. It's out of protecting for the bacteria around you.
That is courteous to the people who live with you.
The reason you gave me for the reason I should always put the seat down, like I should lift it and then put it back down, is because what if our daughter got up late at night one night to go pee and I was the last one to use it? She's going to fall in the damn toilet. And that made perfect sense. That was an honest, logical explanation. And for that reason, I have always put the seat back down when I'm done using the restroom.
I can fall in the toilet.
Fight.
We're just getting rid of the toilet.
Oh.
All right. Picking out wads
Shit
of
in the
toilet
tub.
paper lodged in their butt crack.
Say that one more time.
Picking out wads of toilet paper lodged in their butt crack.
That's just like if I've got something lodged in my butt crack, I don't care what it is, I'm going to get it out. So crayons or whatever, I'm going to get those things out of there.
Does that mean
What?
somebody has the secret habit of wedging their toilet paper in their butt crack?
I think it's when you wipe and it's a cheaper toilet paper and it kind of falls apart
Yeah, I'm going to clean that off.
and disintegrates, and then you've got like
I don't
toilet paper.
Particulates of toilet paper stuck to your butt. Yeah, I'm going to get all of that
guess.
off.
Yeah.
If I know that it's there. If I don't know it's there, guess what? I'm walking around with toilet paper all day.
That seems like a secret thing everybody would fucking do.
Yeah.
It's not just a guy thing. I don't know. Never happened to me. I've never had to unwedge toilet paper from my ass crack. That's never been a...
All right, what about 32? Performing a sort of massaging motion on their testicles because they really itch badly and it's the only way to scratch the itch without hurting themselves.
That was oddly specific. Have I massaged my nuts before? Sure. Not because I had an itch, but because it felt good. I don't know the question.
I don't know how to respond to that. I'm sure if it itched and I couldn't fucking scratch it,
I would manipulate
do that, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go with that. That was an oddly specific.
All right. Masturbating, then wiping up with the first thing they can reach.
First thing they
Nope.
can reach.
Like a sock.
I'm an adult.
Yeah, as a teenager maybe, but no, as an adult, absolutely not. It would be no. It would be specifically like toilet paper or something that I would use.
Masturbating and then just waiting for it to dry.
That's
Oh,
disgusting.
You're gross. Whoever
that
wrote that,
gross?
you're a disgusting human being.
That is
Is it?
Elmer gluing your dick to yourself.
Is
Yeah, no,
it?
that's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll clarify that.
All right, 36. Ferociously scratching their pubes and leaving pubic hairs laying around.
Maybe as a prank? I don't know. I would never do that though.
Yeah, I'd never do that on purpose. I mean, I won't say it's never happened, but like,
I don't think I've ever
secret things that guys do. Like, I've never scratched my pubes off, so I don't know.
The problem with that is, so if you weren't doing it for the intent of leaving your pubes wherever you were, why would you ferociously scratch your crotch? You're going to have to go get fucking checked out down there, buddy. You got something going on.
All right. What about loafing around watching TV with one hand in their underwear?
I never picked up that habit.
I mean, I don't want to say that I haven't done that, but it's not like something that I secretly do. You know what I mean? If I'm like, oh, I guess I got my hand on my dick.
I think it happens after 35.
I don't know. That's like,
what are you saying to me?
What was that show?
In sitcoms.
Married with Children. They made like such a big deal. He'd like get home and open a beer and
but it wouldn't go all the way down to his dick. That was always the part.
That's true.
I think that they didn't want to air that, but the intent was to represent it was grabbing his junk.
I always thought he was just expanding his pants a little.
No.
Like as a younger person watching it.
I mean, maybe
that's so naive and cute.
That might be what. I don't know. It's never been a thing. I've never been like, I need to relax. Oh, dick.
He was probably doing number 38, touching their junk in a non-sexual way.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I've done that lots of times. Sometimes it turned into sexual. It's just, well, my hand's there.
Number 39, wearing jeans for more than a month without washing them.
So here's a little fact. Denim was designed to never need to be washed unless it was visibly dirty.
Or it smells.
Or if it smells, yeah.
I can't say that. I mean, I'm sure I've done that, but I can't say that I've gone out of my way to do that. And it's not like a secret thing like, oh, let's see how long I can get these things to go.
Until they stand up on their own.
Once.
I don't think yeah. If they walk and talk, time to put them in the wash. Yeah, I don't want to say no to that, but I'm not going to say emphatically yes.
Oh, you ready? Number 40.
Tack.
Eating something that fell on the ground because it was only on the ground for 5 seconds.
Sure.
And 5 seconds is like nothing.
M&M's, potato chips sometimes. If it's wet, don't eat it.
I mean.
Drop a pickle? Sorry, that's trash.
Why?
What do you mean, why? The wetness of the pickle will pick up the bacteria and particles from the ground.
You don't think the chip is picking up
No,
stuff?
nothing like a pickle. Or anything wet.
Soup?
I can see it. You would eat soup off the floor?
I wouldn't eat anything off the floor.
Yeah, I don't. You ate an M&M out of your purse.
That's my purse. That's fine.
Way dirtier than our floor.
Not really, because I use the diaper bag all the time, and that purse is only when I go out with you, which has been like twice since I bought it, so it's practically brand new.
Step up your fucking game. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's the first time we've been out in a long time was this past weekend.
It get dark
since we
in
had
here?
the baby.
Someone's throwing shade? What's happening?
Yeah.
Never doing that again.
Yeah, no, that was a mistake. We drank way more than we should have. Which for you would have been fine, but for us, because we're 40, yeah, that sucked, Josh. It was rough.
We're out of commission.
Say, what's too much? Where's that line?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Maybe, I don't know, 7 glasses of wine.
Josh, I have 2 spots on my body that are recovering that are like road rash. So however much we drank was too much for me. I fell over on my pool deck. So my number was up 5 drinks prior to where I was.
Last one, number 41. Going to the bathroom and letting the last drop of pee fall into their underwear.
You're just a fucking animal if you do that.
Yeah. Secret things that guys do. If you do that, you're a psychopath.
Yeah. If it's an accident, that happens. Like some shit. Well, yeah, no, don't. If you do that, that's horrible to do on purpose. If it happens as an accident, so be it. It's just going to happen from time to time. There's actually a technique. This is interesting for guys that don't know this. There is a technique to prevent that from ever happening. So just below your balls, before your ass, is your prostate. And as you're done peeing, if you think you're done peeing, just gently rub that prostate and there'll be like 5 or 6 more drops that are going to come out that would have normally come out on their own in your underwear.
And you still don't have to wash your hands after touching all of
Oh, that you definitely do. I mean, you're touching all of your junk at that point. You're touching your prostate. You're almost to your butt.
I've never heard that before.
Do me a favor, Josh. I know this sounds weird.
Do you want me to film it?
The
Right
next
now.
time,
Here,
the next
I
time
got
you
my
pee, All right, so look, so pretend my finger here is your dick and the other fingers are your balls.
Way bigger than that.
All you have to do is
I'm tracking. I understood.
just light pressure on your prostate, and it pushes that last little bit of pee out of your urethra, the whole canal. It evacuates it. Just that pressure.
Weird.
It's weird.
I'm
I know.
definitely gonna try it,
but it works.
I have to try it.
Well, you're gonna do this. It's gonna change how you pee forever. I just want you to know that.
Too.
You're gonna push on my prostate.
You push on his prostate and tell me what happens.
I like the sound of this. Yeah, brown chicken, brown cow.
So that was the best
alternate guyry.
Best old guyry ever.
Good job, Andrea Joy posting.
That was good. Yeah, but I mean, you kind of touched on this. If you have any questions for us, we have a lot of fun answering these questions. It's fun being candid. So just shoot Andrea a message on Facebook with your questions, or sometimes she posts and she asks for questions and we make a point not to read them so we don't know in advance. I know I cheated once on accident when Stephanie wrote a question in, but...
And don't be scared. Like, I asked some really silly questions, even if they're the silliest little things you just want to know about farting and peeing. Or if it's like some advice you want to get about a relationship or what's going on, or if you're starting to date someone new, anything.
That's true, yeah. You guys want to take a break, come back with game time?
Oh, ouch. We miss you, Tack.
Shortest game time ever.
You know, though, Tack.
You know who didn't win game time this week?
Who?
Tack.
Tack never listens to these shows, so he'll never hear this. We'll have to tell him that. I'm just kidding. He does listen.
I think out of the four of us, he goes back and listens to them the most.
I have to edit the fucking shows.
You can listen to these?
All right. Anything else we want to plug before we get out of here?
Yeah. Where can we listen to this show at?
Everywhere you can download a podcast. So Google Play, iTunes, also on YouTube, Facebook. We upload Facebook videos of the episodes as well. So everywhere you could possibly think, just go look for pod. Of course, I guess you can't listen to them on Twitter or Instagram. However, we do have accounts there too.
If they're already listening to them, then don't they know where they're listening to them?
Sometimes people listen to them on Facebook, like just by watching the video and listening to the audio part. Well, they didn't know on an Android, you have Google Play Music already installed. On an iPhone, you have Apple's podcasts already installed. Or you can go download like Stitcher or Podcast Addict or any of these other podcatcher apps that all do the same thing, but they perform a little differently. Gives you cooler ways to read the show notes and like look at the links. And you can go check out Masterful Beer just by clicking the link on some of them that's already in the show.
I think masturbating.
That's what I'm going for.
He was masturbating.
Go check out masturbating. I mean,
Masterful Beer. Oh, yeah. Best plug ever. All right. We're going to get out of here. Thank you very much for listening to us again this week. Next week, we'll be back with full episodes of The Guyry, full bits from Tack with Game Time, and a full news flash with hopefully another one of our field flashers, especially Stephanie.
You are promising a lot.
I am.
Yeah, get ready for another 2-hour megasode.
Dude, that 100th episode, man, that was just under 3 hours. Like it was 5 minutes short of being 3 hours long. That was a big one.
It was a lot of fun though. We listened to it on our trip up to Georgia.
Did you?
Yeah,
that's cool.
It was pretty good.
It was cool. It was nostalgia. I literally named it Mouth Hugs and Nostalgia.
Who the fuck is Amber in there?
All right, guys. On behalf of Living Podcariously, thank you for listening. I am Adam.
I'm Andrea Joy.
And I'm Mr. Wilson.
We'll see you guys next week.
Oh, I need rest. I've been up a few days, now I feel it in my chest. Nothing is for certain, so I wonder what's next. And if it ain't for the fame, guess I'm working for respect. I'm working for respect. Oh, tell me what I'm singing for. But didn't mean to just slip my mind. Oh, I wish someone had told me the money don't buy me time. Now I walk behind my own lead. tell you that is easy. Oh, it gets harder every day. Oh, tell me what I'm singing for. But did the meaning just slip my mind? Oh, I wish someone had told me the money don't buy me time. All my days are slaved away. I fear I've made myself insane. Oh, tell me what I'm singing for. But did the meaning just slip my mind? Oh, I wish someone had told me the money don't buy me time. Money don't buy me no money, don't buy me no time. So tell me what I'm singing for. Did the meaning just slip my mind?